This is lesson number 26 for our trading bot creation in Python. Last lesson we completed in OAuth file, OAuth helper file, check account balance method. Today we are going to cover next two methods: get available cash, which will help us understand what is the available amount and if it is sufficient to trade in our lots, which basically should be $100. And also we will check trading eligibility. We will calculate the balance and compare it with dedicated value of $100 to see if it's sufficient. So without further ado, let's proceed. We are defining method get available cash, which is solve, and it should return us float value. Our usual comments here, what this method does: gets available cash amount for trading. If not, so you remember our traditional first thing, checking if the connection is in range of token refresh cycle. So if it is not, we will just refresh it, and if so, we will return 0 because we don't have any information. Next, we are going to get accounts information. Accounts equals self Schwab get account info. If not accounts, return again 0. So we are checking the connectivity and we are checking if there are any accounts. So if there are accounts, we are proceeding next. If there are no accounts or there is no connectivity and we need to refresh token, for that moment we are returning 0s. Now we are assuming that we have a single account and we are getting the cash value from it. So account equals accounts 0, account hash will be hash account get hash value, or if not, unknown, or even let's remove this part and just leave hash value. If not account hash, again return 0s, but if it is, so details equals Schwab get client, Schwab client get account details. We are basically using our already predefined methods in here, so trying to optimize and not write all the methods from scratch. Account hash, if not details, return 0s. We are trying to eliminate all the negative test cases and remain only on those parts of the flow that will give us actual account information and the balance. Securities account equals to get securities account. Balances will be equal to securities accounts get current balances, and cash balances get cash balance or 0. And here return float cash balance. So what does this method do? It returns available cash amount in dollars and returns in a format digit dot so float data. It validates the token, it gets account information, it extracts account hash, it fetches account data based on the hash, and parses cache value from the response. Next, we are going to write another small method that will check the trading eligibility. So this is the basic check of cash balance being above $100 or not. So what does it, why we do need it? Because we agreed our trade size should be $100. Can we write it all in here? Yes, we can, but for some moments we will need just the account balance, available cash, and for some we will need to check the eligibility. And with this approach we are using kind of breaking it out from the monolithic approach to some kind of microservices approach. Check trading eligibility. So, and it will return Boolean. So it will return true or false, which will determine if our balance is enough to make a trade. Checking if funds and cash balance are sufficient for trade size, which is 100 USD. Again, we are using here or let's start with print. We will add some information to display during the process, like this step 2, checking trading eligibility. And here cash balance equals to, so get available cash. We just imported our newly created method into this new method and incorporated it to not run over the authentication, hash acquisition, and checking balances and all of that. Instead, we are just using one method. We are calling a method that already has that set up. Print string available cash amount $, cash balance, and we want this to be displayed in 2 digits after decimal. So what this will do, this will display the cash balance with 2 decimal digits. Now if cash balance is more than $100, print sufficient funds for trading, proceeding to CSV analysis. Return true, and else print not enough cash balance, and return. So what does our code do? Here it checks the cash balance, which we defined in a previous method, makes it a float with 2 decimal digits, and checks if it is more than 100. It shows that it is possible to do the next trade. If not, then we will proceed to other part of the code. So if this works, we're ready to proceed to CSV analysis and to purchase. If not, we will go to another step, running a bit forward. It is the step number 8, which will check if we have anything available for sale. So our profit margin is met and the time for trade to not get into the day trading limit has been passed. So while we are on a road, let's complete these two parts into the one. And we here wrote the step 2. Now we need to organize this all into some dedicated flow definition. Def Marcus step 2 flow solve, and it will return string. Control print. Let's have this displayed nicely. Make some great visual. We are defining one line of these symbols, and within it we are writing to flow check print. This one to close the statement. If not so, while client is token valid, print no valid token found, return authentication is required. Cash balance. We basically are, you may think that we are repeating it, but this is just for a flow control. So our operation will be controlled by the flow with these two separate methods. Print. We can basically copy this. Okay. And paste. We are adding some verbal text to, we are adding something verbal to display complete information, what we need and what we got, if it's sufficient or it's not. Required cash balance, this will not be this, but it will be $100. So now we're adding this part, but with just a bit of change in terms of return. We will not return true or false, but we will return string instead, showing the user what are the next steps. Sufficient fund for trading, proceeding to step 3, CSV analysis, and return proceeding return skipping step 3, proceeding to step 8. Let's add here one more print statement, or just change the wording. Not enough cash balance, skipping to step 8, portfolio ready. Now this code can return either authentication required, it can return proceeding step 3, or skipping step 3, proceeding step 4, depending on cash balance. So to summarize what we did here, we created methods to check the available cash amount, we created method to check the trading eligibility, so if the cash balance is more than our threshold of $100, and we created a method to control the whole flow and give user a hint of what's going on at this moment and what is required. Let's add here to be symmetrical. This was all for this lesson. Next lesson we will go with the CSV analysis, and for that I will show you the expected method to get that data, and we also will check one more requirement of what stocks do we own to not obtain the same stock. Thank you for your time. See you at the next lesson. Bye-bye.